Hey YouTubers, my name is Numi and this is the start of a series of 3 videos, the ones you've been waiting for. The coins have come back from Heritage UK. For those of you who haven't been following the grading saga, the coins are graded by NGC, obviously in Sarasota in Florida, and Heritage in the UK every now and again, a few times a year, have a grading for their own clients, and also they grade for ours at the Silver Forum. And we send our coins via Heritage in the UK to NGC to be graded, and I am very pleased to say we now have some results to show you guys. Let's start off the results with this dinky little panda coin. 1998 is a key year for the 1/20th of an ounce gold panda. There are 2 of them in this box somewhere. They both got a 69, which is really very good. Very, very good, actually. And this particular collector picks up gold pandas, and pretty much all of his gold pandas go for conservation at NGC, NCS. Pandas quite often need a little bit of conservation. Either they've been kind of handled a lot and come in capsules, or they're in the OMP plastic. Either way, they benefit quite a lot from that kind of treatment. This one was also actually by the same guy as Conserve the Pandas, and this also, I think, had conservation at NCS, and after that got a 69. That was a British Britannia 1/4 of an ounce proof coin. Here's another one, 2004 Britannia, and this one did very well. As you can see, it's a 1/10 of an ounce. Very, very rare for these coins to get 70. There are a few that get 70, but really it's not a standard thing at all, and there is quite a good premium if you are lucky enough to manage to score a PF 70 on these 1/10 of an ounce Britannias. Next up, there's another Beatrix Potter series coin. They seem to be bringing these out now as a regular thing from 2016. This is one of the maybe slightly less popular designs. I've seen these sell on eBay in gold, and they've sold at a discount to the raw mint price. So this is probably not a bad one to try and look for in gold, picking it up at a reasonable discount to what it was originally sold for in 2016. The one, of course, that everybody wants is this one. The charming and beguiling original Peter Rabbit. 15,000 of these were minted. It's not exactly rare, but I guess a lot of these have gone into people's collections and they'll never sell them. But these do change hands for an extraordinary amount of money, really. And I know they do because I've just sent one to somebody who bought one from a friend of mine that I had here in storage, and I think it sold for about £650, something like that. Here's another one. This one is a very, very nice, fine proof Britannia coin. The big size, £100 denomination, 1 ounce of fine gold. This one in pretty nice condition. This one was restored by NCS and probably would have got a slightly lower grade. This one was also restored by NCS, and surprisingly it got a 67. I would have thought it was probably worth a 68 or a 69 at least. I don't quite know what they saw in this, that there must have been some little mark somewhere under magnification they saw that marked this down to a 67. But beautiful coin, and we all remember what happened, or where we were when the death of Diana was announced. I was in Rimini in Italy having a little summer holiday, and I remember turning on the TV in the room and I just could not believe it. So these are very popular and they go for quite a lot of money. They're actually, I don't think there were that many produced, but they seem to have a very high value still. Here's another one. This one had a little bit of handling marks or scuffs on it, and it was conserved by NCS and after conservation got the magical 70. Very nice. And certainly these ones, if there is any kind of mark on them at all, have them conserved and try for the 70, because once these get 68 or 69, they are, they're probably worth even cracking out the holder and putting back into the OMP to sell, because they do get less in the market with that markdown. This, on the other hand, is one that is enhanced very, very considerably by being a 70. So congratulations to the Silver Forum member who got this. It's the second 70 that I've had. The first one, I think, was Platinum Skies, who's got a YouTube channel, and I know that he then sold it and got a very, very good price for it. And I think this one will probably end up selling to somebody who's a 70 collector. Very few of these have been graded a 70 so far, so they are pretty thin on the ground, and they're expensive even in the OMP. The same collector also sent in 4 of these 50 pences, and this is an example of the large size 50 pence commemorating the Normandy invasion by air and sea, and it's a great design. I think it's really, really nice. These were a little bit scuffed around, and they did get up to 69 with conservation, but I think they did miss the magical 70, unfortunately, and you'll see the others emerge later on in this unboxing. Another collector from the Silver Forum sent in quite a large number of pandas, silver pandas. All of them received conservation at NCS. I think that, again, a fairly wise move with pandas. The expectations of some of the pandas were fairly minimal. However, it's interesting that most of them did pretty well after conservation, and you'll see there's quite a few varieties. NGC are pretty good at identifying panda varieties, and they don't charge anything extra for most, if not all, of the identification of these pandas. So you can send them in without describing whether they're small date or large date, or large twig or small twig, or mirrored finish or frosted. There's lots of different varieties, particularly of the early pandas, and they will actually sort them all out for you, identify them, and put them on the holder without paying anything extra. Most of them did pretty well. I mean, they weren't all in original packaging. Quite a few of them were in capsules and had been handled. So given that, really not too bad at all. I think the person who owns these was actually quite happy with the grades. There was only 1 or 2 that achieved a low grade, including this one here, this 94. Got an MS 63, a little bit of a shocker, but there must have been a little mark on it or something like that. 63 is pretty low, even for this kind of thing. So it's a shame about that, but that really was the only one, I think. Most of them were in the high 60s. No 70s, but 70s are pretty unusual for a lot of the early ones. And there were some quite nice ones. For example, you'll see later on, there was a 2003 that got a mirrored bamboo, which is the rarer one, I think. Frosted bamboo is the more normal one, and there are a few with the mirrored bamboo variety, which is worth a little bit more. You can see here 2 1993 pandas. One has a small date, one has a large date. They did this to differentiate the mints that were producing these pandas, so they could tell which mints they come from. On the face of it, they look pretty similar, but you can see that the large date one is slightly wider and slightly, very, very slightly bigger. Here's another couple which are the same date, which is always interesting, because then you can see or try to see some of the differences. I'm sorry that this is not a detailed panda video, so I'm not going to be looking up all of the different varieties, but you've got a large twig and a small twig large date variety, and there are several other permutations that you could get. Some of the permutations are expensive, but maybe you can tell me and look them up for me. I don't know whether any of these varieties were exceptionally rare or desirable. One or two of them might be pretty rare or higher than average. So at some stage, I guess I should look these up and make a separate video of the ones that are good varieties. The 2003 here is on the right. I told you about that before. That's the mirrored bamboo for 2003. Again, another one I need to look up, but I think from memory that was actually quite a lot more expensive than the frosted bamboo for 2003. But I could be wrong. I tend to do this kind of unboxing without doing a whole load of research, because I just do not have the time to research each one of these coins that comes back from grading. But you'll quite often find these coins appear in other places, because when I send them back to their owners, it then gives a chance for the owners to go and make some YouTube videos. So you'll quite often see these coins re-emerging when they get back to their owners and appearing in other YouTube movies, YouTube videos with a little bit more detail than I'm able to provide here. So a lot of these pandas, I think there's still a few people who are busy collecting different silver panda varieties, still very popular. I haven't been buying as many silver pandas myself, particularly the recent ones, because the mintages are just so crazily high. I don't see that they really have any dramatic collector value when you have 10 million minted. Now this one is interesting. The first one of these that I've actually seen put in a holder, and I wondered whether they would put it in a holder the right size for it or make one specially, but they seem to have found a round one that can hold it. No complaints from me really. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's a really attractive little bar, coin bar coin. I really like it. The person who owns it is very happy with this. Maybe at some stage, if they keep on doing it in the same shape, they'll actually have one cut out and made so that it can hold it a little bit better. Another little panda, 2003, with the mirrored bamboo variety, and the 1988, which is actually one of my favourite designs. I like that. In fact, I like the 2003 as well, but the 88 is one I've also got in my collection, with the Panda Ink label. Very nice, 69, did pretty well. This one goes back to English coins, 2013 Britannia. And then we've got the other one that, remember you saw one right at the very beginning, one of these 1998 20th of an ounce pandas. Pretty rare coin, expensive, not that many of them around. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of box 1. Keep your eyes peeled over the next 2 days for the remaining 2 boxes. They will be around and unveiled and contain some really nice coins, some surprises, some disappointments, but generally some pretty nice grade results from NGC. So that's all from me today. Hope you enjoyed that, and look forward to hearing your amazing comments. And please like and please subscribe.